We have a wonderful group of staff who will share important information about Canadore student services, support, and resources. Whether you are curious about specific department or services, rest assured we have got all your queries covered. You can also check out our past table talk sessions on the Canadore orientation website for further insights. To streamline interaction, we'll use the Q&A feature where you can submit your own questions. If you want to be discreet, feel free to ask anonymously. Remember to please keep your questions and comments respectful and appropriate. This session is being recorded and will be posted on the Canada Orientation website.
Let's kick off this session by diving into some of the most frequently asked questions that we have had received over the years. We'll cover all key topics that you've been curious about. After that, we'll turn our attention to the Q&A chat box and make sure to address any additional questions you may have. First up, we are going to talk about how you actually get to campus. If you joined us last week, we discussed how to get to North Bay from the airport. But once you've arrived and settled into North Bay, how do we get around? Well, joining us to share more information about this is Kathy Kiesler.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. Kathy, how are you?
I'm good.
All right. So, first question. For those of us who don't drive and maybe rely on the bus to get to North Bay and to campus, is the bus pass included in our tuition fees, and how do I get my bus pass?
Yes, the bus passes are included in tuition fees, and you can get it along with the digital ID. So it's available for full-time students as it's included in the fees, and it's anticipated it'll open January 3rd. You do have to be registered before you can receive it. So the student card and digital ID are actually blended together with the bus pass. So you don't have to pick it up. It will automatically go to your phone via the Everest ID, the digital ID solution provider. There'll be a link in the chat. So you'll start by scanning the QR code that you'll find there. You'll scan it with your phone to download the app. You'll follow the instructions to register your device. And an important note, and it will be listed there, that the Canadore College org ID number is 0001. You'll take your selfie and then submit your photo, and you're done. So note that the bus pass on the digital ID is active if the transit logo is visible at the bottom of your ID. So you'll want to watch for that. You'll be able to use the transit bus immediately once you download and set up your digital ID. If you have questions or challenges, you can email info@everestsolutionsgroup.ca, or you can call 1-833-960-3490, and that information is also available on the website too.
All right. Next question. When can I start using my bus pass?
So once you're able to download it, you'll be ready to go. So we're anticipating right now it'll be available for you to start downloading January 3rd.
All right. If I don't use the bus, will I be able to opt out of the bus pass?
No, you're not able to opt out. It was voted on by the student population a number of years ago, and they approved the bus pass charge for all students. So no, there is no opting out.
All right. And last question for you, Kathy. If I'm driving to campus instead of taking the bus, do I need a parking permit, and how do I get one?
The short answer is yes, you absolutely do need a parking permit. If your vehicle does not have a valid parking permit or a pay and display tag, your vehicle will be ticketed or towed. So you want to pay attention to that. There is parking available at every campus, and paid parking is in effect Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. The pay and display is for visitors or short-term parking at a rate of $1.25 an hour or $6 a day, and that's available in Lot 4. Paid parking is in effect at residents as well, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Parking for residents is sold out at this time. However, you will need to buy a permit for the lot number 5 overflow lot located at the 100 College Drive, so at the campus, and either walk or take the bus down to residents. Then your name is added to a wait list and you'll be contacted as soon as a spot becomes available. When you go in to purchase your parking space, your parking ID has a CC in front of it, so in front of your student number. So it would be something to the effect of CC A000-12345. So just remember to put that CC in front. And when you go to the website, there are maps on the website to help you determine which lot to request on your parking application.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy.
Thank you, Jade.
No worries. Okay, Taha, over to you.
Well, next up, we have Melissa joining us from Sodexo to talk about the voluntary meal plans on campus. So, welcome, Melissa, and thank you for joining us. The first question we have is, can I get a meal plan at Canadore? And what are the different plan options?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. And you can get a meal plan either at any of the main campus. You can get it at Commerce Court and those at Aviation. I know they're not on the call today, but you can. We have four different options. So we have two semestered plans. One is a basic plan. That is $900, and one is a more full experience plan. That's $1,120. That's one semester. We also have the full year plan. So the basic plan is $1,800, and then the full experience plan is $2,400. Along with those plans, that is your main meal plan. There also comes with it money that is called flex dollars. Those are monies that we give to students. You don't get charged for those. Those are kind of a freebie given. They're used for snacks. So you can use them when you come in and you just want to grab a bite, you want a bag of chips or a chocolate bar. Those are what those flex dollars are used for. The regular meal plan is where you use for your meals. That's when you come in, you buy your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's kind of what those are used for. Those are the four different options. We do have a website where you can order those meal plans. And you can also always come to College Drive in the cafeteria. Our offices are located right there, and you can ask us any questions that you have.
Thank you. Another question, how can I purchase a meal plan and how do I use it once it's been purchased?
That's a great question. And we just kind of talked about you can purchase online. I see our link is in the chat that you can go on. There's also, if you see any pamphlets that might be in residence or on campus, there's a QR code that will also take you to our website. When you get to the website, there are two different options, whether you're a Nipissing student or a Canadore student. You just click on those and all of the different options are there. It's paid by credit card online. We receive the order, so within 48 hours, depending on the time of year in the semester, beginning semester may take a few extra days. Your meal plan's just loaded on your student card. So you bring your digital ID to the cafeteria. It will already be loaded. There's nothing you have to do on your end. We do that all on the back end. So you just show up and get your meal.
Wonderful. Um, Next question is, where all can I use my meal plan? Like what all places can I use it?
You can use it on any of the campuses. You can also use it on the Bay Bistro. Those who might want to go there, going for the restaurant for a good time, you can come to any of the places on campus. That includes Subway, the Starbucks, the Pizza, anything in the main cafeteria, Commerce Court, the cafeteria there, again with Aviation as well. So you can use it at basically any of the areas on campus that Sodexo has.
One last question that I have for you. What happens if I still have money on my meal plan at the end of the semester?
At the end of the semester, they do expire. So if you have a semestered meal plan by the end of the first term, or the second term, depending on which time you buy it, those monies do expire. What we really try to encourage students is keep an eye on your balance. When we print out receipts, you'll have a balance on your meal plan. You can request it at any time from a cashier, and it will really help you keep track of what you have left. Keep in mind that meal plans are really based on, by legislation that we have from the government, 10 meals per week for at least a month. So it's really based on students using this, a couple times a day or at least once a day to get through their meal plan. If your student is going to do that, it's a great option for them. If that's not necessarily what they're looking for, we do have other options. We have gift cards that can be used. In any of our areas. So if they have any questions, they can come see us. We can talk them through, especially if they're unsure.
Thank you very much. Since you said students can use their digital ID to go and buy their food, so I think that gives us another good reason to get their student ID activated. Not
Yeah.
only it is a bus pass, but it's also where you access your meal plans. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now that we have got getting to campus and food covered, let's move on to our courses and more specifically how to access those courses. Joining us today to share more information about iLearn and Canadore courses is Trish. All right, first question for you, Trish. What is iLearn and is it different from Brightspace or D2L?
Question, Jade. So hello, everyone. I'm here on behalf of our Academic Center of Excellence, and iLearn is our Canadore's learning management system. So it is your go-to place to find all of your course content, your lesson materials, all your course activities, such as your drop boxes and your quizzes, your news items, your grades, and everything. So sometimes you'll hear it being referred to as Brightspace and D2L. They're all the same thing. Technically, D2L makes the software that is Brightspace, but Canadore calls it iLearn. So if you hear people talking about iLearn, D2L, Brightspace, it's all the same thing. It's like Kleenex. Right, and that's next question, please.
All right. When can I log into iLearn?
So you can log into iLearn typically within 24 hours of registering in your first courses through web registration in self-service. So you'll log into iLearn using your Canadore issued Microsoft 365 credentials, which are generated overnight following your registration for your courses. And the full instructions for that are found on the login page, which is posted in the chat.
All right. When will my classes be available on iLearn?
So you will have access to your courses beginning on the course start date. So typically this occurs on the first day of the semester. However, some courses may begin later. This gives your instructors time to get your course set up and ready to go. The one exception to this is the CAN 100 course. So this is available once your Microsoft credentials are created and you can log into iLearn for the first time.
All right. Where do I find links for online classes?
So if you have any online classes or remote class meeting times, typically your instructor will make either a Teams or a Zoom link available somewhere in your course. So it may vary by instructor, but meeting links are often posted either in the course news or in the course content.
All right. Do I need to use iLearn or is attending classes in person enough?
So attending classes is not enough. You do need to log into iLearn. It is important to log into iLearn frequently to stay up to date on course activities and deadlines, as well as ensuring that you have all the course materials and resources. So instructors will use iLearn for news items and updates, collecting assignments, posting grades, and feedback, and much, much more.
All right. Last question for you, Trish. What is the Pulse app and should I download it and is it useful?
So the Pulse app is something that has been designed by D2L to work with Brightspace. So it is the most effective way to receive notifications and news, as well as course updates and deadline reminders. You can even access the full site on your mobile device from the app. It is very useful and we highly recommend using it.
All right. Thank you very much, Trish. Over to you, Tala.
Well, all this discussion with Trish makes one thing sure is that we all going to access our courses online, right? So we do need to have a device to log into iSucceed. While joining us from IT Services is Emerson to talk more about tech on campus and bring your own device policy. So welcome, Emerson. So the first question we have is, what is bring your own device policy and is it mandatory?
So the bring your own device policy is mandatory. It is like a program delivery model requiring students to bring a computing device that meets the minimum technical specifications for their program. Typically, you want to make sure that you're at least meeting or exceeding these requirements, and you can always reference our BYOD document on the website. This document does detail what the minimum requirements are specifically for your program. For example, some programs might prefer you to have a Mac, programs like the media courses, but do note that not all software may be compatible between Macs and Windows PCs. And it's always best that if you have further questions, that you can contact the program coordinator. This is noted in the BYOD document, should you have any technical questions that you have regarding your program.
Thank you. So do students need to have a printer on campus or are students able to print on campus?
So students aren't required to bring a printer and they are welcome to use our Flex computer labs for printing during school hours. We have some Flex computer labs located at College Drive in rooms D237 and D242. We have some at Commerce Court in W156 and E204. And we have one location at Aviation with a smaller amount of machines in Y245. One thing to note is that the computer labs at the main College Drive campus are flex classrooms and computer labs. So should a class be present, you want to be respectful of that class and return at a later time when the room is available to use.
So, there's another question. What happens if my laptop breaks down?
So usually what we suggest is that you be preemptive in ever having a problem with your laptop breaking down. The best thing to do would be to save any important schoolwork to online services like Google Drive or OneDrive. We do provide OneDrive with the 365 account that students are provided. That way, if you do have a failure, you're not losing any of your work. You'll be able to access it if you have another computer or have a phone. That way, you're not in a bad situation. Unfortunately, the service desk doesn't provide any repair services for students, but if you're unsure of what problem you're having, we can advise you on what steps need to be taken so that you can get back and up and running.
So you did mention something about Microsoft 365. So do Canadore students get free access to Microsoft 365?
Yes. So for every student, we do provide access to Microsoft Office and 365. This is included with your Canadore student email. You can visit our website at Microsoft 365 to get more details on the steps to access the account. One thing that we do note is that the student maintains the account while they are actively registered with Canadore. So once you graduate or are no longer attending Canadore, account access is revoked. So you might want to make sure that any personal information is saved outside of that account for those reasons.
Okay. A lot of students gets confused with this question that I'm going to ask you. What is my Canadore email address and what are the users of this email and where can I find it?
Yes. So each student is assigned the Canadore email address, and it will end with an @canadorestudents.ca. This email gives you access to Office and a lot of other Canadore resources while you're attending. You can check what your email address is by looking in self-service under the View Email Addresses section, and it will be marked as the authentication email. We also, like I mentioned, have a guide on our website that shows all these steps for you to check so that you can find out your email. Student emails will be a combination of 6 numbers at canadorestudents.ca. And though you're not obliged to use the email, you do need to use it for accessing certain services like the computer labs, using iLearn, accessing Microsoft Office, accessing resources from the library, or using it for Connect2 to take out equipment in the Media Hub, or for Accommodate if you're registered with Student Success.
Thank you. I have another question, which is what is MFA and SSPR?
Oh, no problem. So MFA is multi-factor authentication. You probably use something like this with other services that you might have, a Google account, an Amazon account, where you'll receive a text or a message on your phone to confirm your identity when you sign in. SSPR is another feature where you can reset your password at any time without IT's intervention, as long as you've registered your phone for MFA. So it's an important service because you will be asked to confirm this information when you're signing into any services like the lab, iLearn, Microsoft Office, Outlook, and Teams. You can use the self-service password reset at any time, like I mentioned. The thing that you want to look out for is that it's called self-service password reset, and we do have something for Canadore called self-service. So they are 2 separate things. Self-service is used when you're registering for your classes. The self-service password reset is when you're resetting your password for Microsoft Office. And if you have any issues and you get locked out of your Microsoft account, you're always welcome to drop by the service desk office or give us a call. And in situations where you may break or damage the phone that you use to authenticate, you'll always want to reach out to us so that we can assist you.
Thank you for clarifying that. I have one last question to ask you. When should I contact the IT department and what is the best way to contact IT?
So the best way to reach out to us is typically by email, and we can be reached at service.desk@canadorecollege.ca. You can also reach out to us by phone at 705-474-7600, and our extension is 5800. Or you can always drop by our on-campus location in room D228 at the College Drive campus. we're usually available between 8:30 and 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. And if you have any issues over the weekend, you can always send an email and we will get back to you on the following Monday.
Thank you very much, Emerson. That was very helpful. Over to you, Jade.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to welcome back Kathy to share more information about getting books on campus and the campus bookstore. First question, how do I know what books I need for my classes?
Sorry, just realized I was on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an important question. And so what you'll need to do is go online to the campus shop. You can find out what books you need by selecting Canadore College at the campus shop site. And for, of course, this semester coming up, you'll select Winter 2025 and then search for your course by division, which is actually your campus. So College Drive, Parry Sound, Commerce Court Aviation. And then your department, which is your program, and then all the courses that you've registered for, including their section. So it kind of breaks it down piece by piece. If no textbooks are required, or if the bookstore has not yet received information about what's required, this information will also be listed. So you'll know exactly where you stand with each course.
All right. When is the bookstore open?
So the hours are Monday to Friday, or sorry, well, it's Monday to Thursday, 8:30 to 4. Friday is 8:30 to 3. But I do want to make note that the campus shop will be closed from December 21st to January 1st. So online orders placed during this time will begin to be processed January 2nd.
All right. Will the bookstore deliver to residents or other campuses for free?
No, there isn't free shipping to residents, but there is in-store pickup available at the College Drive campus.
All right. If there are no textbooks showing up, does that mean I do not need a textbook for that course?
Well, if no textbooks are required, or if the bookstore has not yet received information about what's required, then this information will be listed on the website. So again, you'll know exactly where you stand with each course.
Good to know. Can you sell back your textbook to the bookstore?
Jade, there is a buyback program available to students. The amount that's offered is based on the demand for the book as well as the condition of the book. A student card or digital ID and a debit card is required to complete any transaction.
Good to know. Last question for you, Kathy. Can you
Sure.
buy used books at the bookstore?
Yeah, there are new, used, and digital options available. There's often an option to rent or buy. If your course requires courseware or online recourses, please select new, as there's no guarantee that codes will still be applicable in a used book. Renting is a good option if the book will not be needed for more than one term, and rental accounts can be set up during checkout.
All right. Thank you very much, Kathy.
You're welcome, Jade.
Over to you, Tala.
Well, now we have Mary Beth from Student Success Services. This department is dedicated to helping you succeed in your studies, overall college experience. Whether you need help with learning strategies, mental health, and wellness, or support with any accommodation, they're here to guide you. So we have Mary Beth helping us with some of the questions that we have. So the first question I have for you, Mary Beth, is what is Student Success Services, and when should I go to Student Success Services?
Good morning, everyone. Success Services is available to all students on campus. So students who access our services come for a wide range of reasons, ranging from accessible learning services, academic accommodations, mental health supports, learning strategies, or just looking for support in general. So students registering for academic accommodations must have permanent or temporary documented disabilities. We can provide students with a student success profile outlining their academic accommodations, referrals for psychoeducational assessments, assistive technology, training, accommodated testing, and we offer a variety of mental health resources. from awareness events to short-term support and community referrals. In addition, we also have our international transition, retention, and support coordinators who provide support to our international learners on campus. You can come to Student Success at any time, but if you need learning support, academic accommodations, or mental health support, the sooner the better. So we can get you the supports in place as soon as possible. Our office is open from 9 until 4, Monday to Friday during the school year. We're available by phone, email, you can walk in, or you can book an appointment with us.
Thank you. Is there a deadline to register with Student Success Services?
There's no deadline, but the sooner the better. If you do have a documented disability and you require an academic accommodation, we recommend that you register as soon as possible and provide the documentation to ensure that you receive the support that you need to be successful.
If I'm going to Student Success Services for mental health support or counseling, will this show up on my transcript?
No. All services are strictly confidential, so we do not disclose who uses the services or why. And we must adhere to the guidance as set out by the Ontario Personal Health Information Privacy Act. So we do need written consent to share any personal information.
Another question I have is, if I'm having trouble in my classes and do not have a disability, what supports are available?
So students can access learning and transition support. So even if they do not have a documented disability. So if students need support with time management, organization, studying, or note taking, they can connect for learning support and access peer tutoring as well for a small fee.
Oh, thank you. One last question is, are Student Success Services available on all campuses?
Yes, so we do support on all campuses. We have an office and resource center on College Drive, Commerce Court, Aviation, and for the West Parry Sound students, we can connect virtually or by phone, and we do provide in-person accommodating testing.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Jade.
All right. Shauna will be joining us from the Center of Career Development, a department focused on providing valuable resources and facilitating on-campus employment opportunities for students. Shauna will be addressing some of the most commonly asked questions about working on campus and how to make the most out of the Career Center's services. First question, can both domestic and international students work on campus, and how many hours can I work?
Good question. So domestic and international students can both apply for on-campus work, and all of the positions offer 10 hours a week paid at minimum wage, and those hours do not count towards the hours limited by a student visa for the international students, so they're like bonus hours for them.
Awesome. How can I apply for on-campus jobs, and when is the deadline to apply?
To apply, you have to go to the Canadore job portal, and that can be found on the Center for Career Development webpage. You'll be able to log in once you're registered for classes. And once you're able to get in, there's a message on the dashboard that explains all about the on-campus opportunities and how to apply. There is an eligibility form that needs to be filled out before applying, and you can find that link in all of the individual job postings. And for the upcoming semester, they'll be open from January 6th, and they will close January 17th at 4 p.m.
Alrighty, last question for you, Shauna. What other services are provided by the Center for Career and Development?
So we offer lots of extra support for finding employment. We can help with employment documents like your resume and cover letter, even things like your LinkedIn profile. We can help with other job search supports as well. We can help with interview preparation, professional networking, entrepreneurship support, as well as finding volunteer opportunities to help beef up your resume. And then we do offer some mentorship as well.
All right, thank you very much, Shauna.
Thank you.
All right, over to you, Tala.
Well, now our college also has a First People Center, but I'm sure some of you don't know what is First People Center. So we have Sunday here with us to share some information about First People Center. So the first question I have right off the bat is, what is First People Center and what services are available there?
Morning, everybody. The First People Center is a welcoming, supportive space that provides holistic cultural and academic support to Indigenous learners, that's First Nation, Inuit, and Métis peoples, while extending its impact through recruitment and community outreach initiatives. Some of the services that we provide are academic support, such as counseling, tutoring, laptop loans, supplies, advocacy, testing, mentorship, and referrals. We have a culture advisor, Jerry McComb, who has weekly cultural activities like beading and men's drumming. He also plans snowshoe making, rattle making, paint nights, some of the more fun things. A holistic approach also involves fostering connections with others and embracing ceremony. So to begin the year, the First People Center will host the first powwow in February. We also hold gatherings with feasts, and students have access to the 4 sacred medicines, and we have smudging upon request. We have a retention and recruitment officer, Gerard Pelche, and he plans some other activities such as the Halloween Hunt at Canada's Wonderland that we go to every year. And we currently have students who are in Costa Rica, and they're participating in Costa Rica's Global Experience Program. We have an elder on campus, Lorraine Liberty, who students can book that one-on-one time with, or they can just come and sit and enjoy bannock and tea Monday mornings.
Thank you. The next question I have is, do I need to be Indigenous to go to First People's Center?
No, the First People Center is an inclusive space that we welcome everybody regardless of background, and we're always happy to answer questions and offer assistance whenever possible.
So if I'm Indigenous, am I able to self-identify?
You are, and we hope that Indigenous students do. Self-identifying helps keep students informed about upcoming events and valuable resources such as bursary workshops and important deadlines like opting out of healthcare plans. A lot of Indigenous students need to do that. It also ensures that we can stay connected, and students can easily reach out if they have any questions or they need support. If you want to access that resource, you go to the Canadore College's First People Center and click on the supports page. There's a voluntary self-identification online form that they can complete. And I'm wondering if I can add that link to the chat.
So thank you, Sunday. That was very insightful. Last but not least, we have Erin joining us from the Office of Inclusion to share more about her role and some of the initiatives and events she supports. We'll ask some of the questions. So what is the Office of Inclusion, Erin?
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me here. So access and inclusion ensures that all students, especially those from marginalized or unrepresented groups, are actively included both on campus as well as within our community. We facilitate various campus events, awareness days, and workshops that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. In addition, I'm here to connect you with appropriate services both on and off campus and assist you with navigating any and all barriers and providing the best support possible so you can achieve your goals both personally and academically.
So if I want to use my preferred name instead of my legal name, how do I do this?
Absolutely. So preferred name changes can be facilitated once you've registered for your classes. It's extremely important to us to ensure that you are identified properly in our hallways, classrooms, and other extensions of our Canadore community. When successfully carried out, your dead name or legal name will be changed to reflect your preferred name on all front-facing online learning components. This will include class lists, discussion boards, drop boxes, and iLearn student profiles.
Thank you. That was good to know. Does the Office of Inclusion provide support for first-generation learners? How do I know if I'm a first-generation learner?
Great question. So a first-generation student is one whose parents or guardians have not attended post-secondary before. So if a sibling of the student, if one of your siblings has attended college, university, that doesn't count. It only applies to parents or guardians. So if your parents or guardians have attended college, university, but didn't finish, then you would also still qualify as a first-generation learner.
I have one last question for you. I want to know more about the Office of Inclusion. What is the best way to contact you?
So you can drop in at any time. There's no appointment. So my office is at the College Drive campus, just beside Twigs, the glass area with all the couches. So you can come and see me in person, G223, or you can reach me by email at erin.plurd@canadorecollege.ca or by telephone 474-7600, extension 5134.
Thank you, Erin. That was very helpful. I'm sure all the students will be eager to meet you.